Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are well. Today we have Ahmad Kabir with us, who is one of my old friend and a senior. Ahmad has actively been a part of debating an emerging society of Pakistan for a few years. I would like to thank him to make time and join us today.
Thank you, Daniel, for that very kind introduction. Uh, I'm very proud of you guys making such initiatives at such age. I generally see myself when I was at your stage and like doing all this. It is really overwhelming to see my younger generation doing so well. Anyways, let's move on towards the questions, Daniel.
Okay, moving on. First question: how do you define feminism?
Okay, so Daniel, basically ऐसा है कि you cannot define feminism. ठीक है? It's like a universal term. What feminism actually is, feminism is this belief in social, political, and cultural, economical uh, equality of all the genders. That is what feminism in general is. What I believe feminism is, there is no. What I believe is that there's no general there's no like person to person variance in the definition of what feminism is. It's like a universal term, so you can't break it even down. There is there are several ways in which one could conceive what feminism means, but the actual like the meaning actual meaning of it's same. In whatever context you're using it's same. So you it's like a very universal term, so I don't think that there is any need for asking anyone that what they think of feminism, because feminism is such a universal term. So anyway, still answering, I have said that feminism is equality of all the genders. Specifically in feminism, we talk about how women are degraded in our society and how women are not given equal rights and representation as men. So there are several ways in which I think that feminists are wrong, but their main motive is right. I support feminism, but I do think that there are ways in which that could be improved, which I would further talk about.
Okay, do you think there is a need for it in the society?
See, Daniel, this question uh, is is what I really wanted to talk about. You see, it doesn't matter if I think there is a need for it. It doesn't matter. And when I say I try to talk on behalf of all the main population. It doesn't matter what men think. It doesn't matter कि अगर मर्दों को लगता है कि फेमिनिज्म होनी चाहिए या नहीं. It doesn't matter कि whether men should whether men approve of feminism or whether men disapprove of feminism. There is obviously a great part of men in feminism. There's a great advantage. There are great benefits towards men if they do join and they do listen to what women have to say. But it doesn't matter if men think that it is needed in the society or not. It is basically the women. If the women feel that there is a need for feminism, then obviously there is a need, because you can always talk with a woman about their issues. You can always try to uh, try to listen to their voices, but you can never ever feel the actual pain, the actual emotions behind a woman and her cries. So
Okay,
that is what I think
moving.
on this thing,
Sorry.
that it shouldn't matter if I or like a person XYZ male a male XYZ thinks that there should be feminism or not, because it is completely out of the range to ask men that whether they think that feminism should be there. Obviously, men are in one way or another enjoying the enjoying the patriarchal society. They are enjoying it, uh, so they do take advantage of it. And I think that men would be biased towards saying no. Mostly men would bias towards saying that no, there isn't need, because they themselves don't feel it. The 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 saying that when you might have heard many people say that I didn't believe in feminism until I had a daughter myself. So I think that is very, very wrong of that saying, because you have a spouse, you have a living, breathing human who is your partner, as a, obviously a woman. So if it didn't take her emotions, if it didn't take you to understand that woman who is your spouse, who has been committed to you, who you have chosen yourself as as your family, if you can't even understand her sorrows, her cries, her, you can't understand what she has to say, then I think it's very like wrong for you to say that I didn't understand what feminism was until I had a daughter myself. Because then basically what you're trying to say is, I don't care what my wife has to say, I just think of her as a machine to produce babies, when but I do care about my children. So that is a very wrong statement, I think, in our society, and we do have to change that as well.
Okay, moving on the third question. A popular slogan, cook your own food, अपना खाना खुद बनाओ. And how would I know where your socks are? हमें क्या पता तुम्हारा मोजा किधर है? Do you think feminists are getting off their path of demanding equality, or does all they want is to not obey men?
Uh, a very good question indeed, Daniel. So what I actually believe is, I've talked about it before as well. Okay, in Pakistan, what women are actually doing, they are not practicing feminism. Many are doing that, but there are certain population in Pakistan that women are not practicing feminism, they're practicing misandry. So what misandry actually is, you might have heard of the word misogyny. Misogyny is basically the hatred and contempt for women. Misandry is the quite opposite. It is a hatred for men. I think that many women in Pakistan are right now practicing misandry, as they all everywhere you go, you see that men are trash, or like mostly women are practicing misandry. They're driven away from the true essence of feminism, that is on the to keep women on the spotlight, to give women on the spotlight, give women equal chances as men, give women equal rights, give women equal representations. And that is what I think is, with slogans like you said about like apna khana khud banao, that's like, that is something like which like represents ke how men are treating women as slaves. But at the same time, it is like, it would have been better if, they say कि अपना खाना मेरे साथ बनाओ, like involve yourself as well in household activities, involve yourself as well, or normalize women going to work and men staying back home, like involve that as well. When a feminism walks up and talks about homosexuality, and she talks about how one is has herself is okay with homosexuality, that's her own belief. We play then we start playing the religion card. We say no, it's, ये हमारे religion में मना है, तबलीगियां हो जाती हैं, and that all. But then when the true essence of feminism is equality, our religion at mostly like proves at mostly orders every woman of of every race, every ethnicity, every religion should be treated equally. It's up to Allah Almighty only to judge a person, to give one actions on his behalf, or what he has done. But our people are not, they just use religion to prove their point. They don't like actually use religion to like, uh, lead their lives in a religious way. When they see that something is not according to them, they see that, oh, we are losing an argument, we'll play the religion card. Oh भाई, हम अभी homosexuality के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोलते, मुझे तो पता भी नहीं है होती क्या है, मैं तो घर बैठ के बस बोल रहा हूँ। हाँ, चलो मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता, मैं कह देता हूँ यार इस्लाम में मना है, ठीक है। But then at the same time, अगर वही डिबेट चल रही होती कि how women should be equally treated, that why women have such a lower pay gap, how women are not given as well health services as men, and all that, then you would say कि हाँ ठीक है, but then you won't go to pointing out कि how यार इस्लाम में ये भी कहा था कि women are equal to men, how everyone is equal, every man, every woman is equal. So that is what I have to say on the topic, that yes, women are on some point driving away from the true essence of feminism, which is to promote equality, and are moving towards a little bit of misandry, which is the hatred for men, obviously. So I think that some of them should be like uh, should be around like talking on how equality should be promoted and not the hatred for men. Also, I think that everything that women are doing nowadays, you see, there's one woman, एक औरत है ठीक है, वो इंडिविजुअल तौर पे करती है, she hustles and then she reaches the point जहाँ एक औरत को जॉब मिलना मुश्किल था, she reaches there, she is getting an individual benefit, लेकिन फिर साल में एक दफा आप आते हो and then you do this whole Aurat March, and we have seen like a pretty rebellious protests between them. अगर इससे for example अगर DHA में ये protest हो रहा है, then DHA is already in, like for example DHA, अगर for example लाहौर की बात करते हैं, लाहौर में DHA, लाहौर is already a privilege, like mostly people in Lahore are like sort of privileged, like Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi, these are like bigger cities, these are like bigger cities. So I think उन्हें इस तरह like अपना जो है कैरी करना चाहिए कि even if somewhere in a गांव या in a village कोई देख रहा है उसको, तो a woman is watching on the TV in a village के यार अच्छा ये देखती हूँ मैं, औरत मार्च हो रहा है, then she just sees के यार ये तो रिबेलियस हो रहा है, लाइक औरतें ऐसे दुपट्टे के बगैर घूम रही हैं, एंड देन उस औरत के दिमाग में दैट अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड औरत जो है एक विलेज के अंदर, उसके गांव में एक डिफरेंट सेट हो जाएगा फेमिनिज्म का मीनिंग, वो ट्रू एसेंस नहीं उसको पता चलेगा कि यार फेमिनिज्म बेसिकली एक कर इसलिए रही है कि वुमेन को मैन की इक्वल रिप्रेजेंटेशन मिले, ताकि वुमेन को एज अ सेक्स सिंबल ना समझा जाए, वुमेन को एक रिस्पेक्ट दी जाए विच शी ऑब्वियसली डिजर्व्स। इसके अलावा इस पूरे पार्ट में व्हाट आई थिंक लाइक, chalo, I'll talk about that later if you know at the end. That doesn't fit in here, I guess.
Okay, moving on the last question. Would you like to advise or suggest something to the viewers regarding this issue?
Okay. So basically, what I have to say is, that first of all, I would like to point out what are the major reasons for for women inequality nowadays. ठीक है. सबसे पहले तो यार देखो कि what I think at like being very subtle, very I think pornography is one of the main reasons feminism, sorry, women inequality is so high. In pornography, they show that how the male is always dominant and how the woman is always submissive. This indirectly changes our mind perspective. This indirectly makes us like think, कि, अच्छा, I think कि, for example, someone, obviously it's a taboo topic. You should talk about it. ठीक है? Uh, Being privileged people, we know what everything is, we should talk about it. There's a certain taboos in the society which we should counter, obviously. Okay, pornography is one of those. Like, I think that is one of the main reasons. Okay, women are being degraded, are not given equal rights and all that. Because at the essence, they show how woman is always submissive and male is always dominant, and they are trying to keep sexism sexy. ठीक है, that is what I think, and it is one of the major leading factors. Obviously pornography की growth बहुत ज़्यादा हो रही है in our society, so obviously when many people are watching it, they are being influenced by it. आप कुछ भी चीज़ देखो, सुनो, लिखो, you become influenced by it. You are indirectly or directly influenced by it. आपको शायद पता ना चले कि ये हो रहा है, but in back of the mind you are doing that. Like it's sort of similar to how when you see कि एक actor is playing a bad role in a movie, certain aspects of that bad person comes in that actor's personality because he has to stay in that character for a long time. So I think ये भी एक बहुत major reason है कि how pornography is influencing the society and degrading women. Acha, next I would like to say कि यार how women how we talk about pay gaps. Acha, in certain things, pay gaps are justified. For example, if you see ke how in football, for example, in all over the world, if a man is being paid, for example, $20 and woman is paid around let's say $7. See, that is, I guess, justifiable as there's a bigger audience for men playing football than there is for women playing football. So obviously, when there's a bigger audience for men, there would be more sponsors, there would be more revenue generated for men, and that is why when men are getting like better pays at that, like in, for example, in sports or some stuff like that. But at the same time, there are places where it's unjustified, like for example in a for example call center, you say, or in an office, like there is a sorry about that. uh, so there was like male used to be dominant because they had more physical strength. But what I think is that where women lack physical strength, men lack mental strength as well. So like women bear up for all that physical strength in their mental strength. There you cannot be stronger than a woman mentally or emotionally. Obviously, women are very mentally strong. They have to bear like loads of pain throughout their life, whether it be menstruation, whether it be childbirth, whether it be like certain stuff or other stuff. Like there is stuff where women are much greater than men, and there are stuff where sadly men are also greater than women. So like in an office where जैसे अगर पहले आप देखें तो like there is in the Stone Age, men had physical strength. He had to like kill, he had to hunt, he had to like build all that, and then उसके लिए he needed physical strength. So male was dominant कि मरते गए घर नहीं चल सकता. बट नाउअडेज ऑफिस में आप जाते हैं तो आपको वो ये नहीं कहेगा कि यार ये बोरी भरी हुई है मेल्स की, आप इसको उठा के उधर भेजो. ईमेल का जो जमाना है, आपने लाइक लैपटॉप से भेजनी है या फोन से भेजनी है. सो देयर इज अ सर्टेन प्रोफिशिएंसी के यार वुमेन भी वो चीज कर सकती है और मैन भी कर सकते हैं. देयर इज नो लाइक फर्क इन दैट, देयर इज नो डिफरेंस. ठीक है. सो एट दैट पॉइंट यस, men and women should be paid equally, but at the same time there are places where you just can't pay them equally. ठीक है. So these are the stuff I wanted to say, and I would like to say कि anything before passing any comment, any regard, any like comment or talking about anything, it is very necessary for us to completely research about that topic. ठीक है. See what's one's perspective on the topic. ठीक है. अब फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं कल जाके बाहर कोई बात कर देता हूँ. ठीक है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फेमिनिज्म के ऊपर बात कर देता हूँ. ठीक है. तो लोग ये नहीं देखेंगे कि यार अच्छा इन लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल इन आवर जनरेशन, अगर मैं आगे कल जाके कहता हूँ यार औरतें बेहतर हैं मेन से, अगर मैं कहता हूँ कि यार औरतें मेन से बेहतर हैं, जैसे अभी मैं बता रहा था देयर आर सर्टेन स्टफ इन वुमेन दैट मेन कांट इवन लाइक कीप अप विद. वुमेन आर मच ग्रेटर इन इमोशनल स्ट्रेंथ एंड मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ. तो अब लाइक हमारे जो लाइक आके ना लाइक people would start trolling that person. People would say यार ये तो सिम्प है, ये तो औरतों की साइड ले रहा है, यार ये तो औरतों की क्या कहते हैं सिंपैथी गेन करने के लिए ऐसी बातें कर रहा है. They won't understand what's the context behind that person. Maybe उसने कुछ लाइफ में ऐसे ट्रॉमेटिक एक्सपीरियंसेस देखे हैं. Maybe उसने लाइफ में देखा हो कि यार how I've seen कि women are better than men in certain aspects, or how men are better than women in certain aspects. So हर चीज से पहले you should have a proper like go through and research before passing any comment without or like offending someone. To just end, I would like to say कि thank you again Daniel for having me here. And आजकल के ज़माने में लोग you can say anything and someone will still be offended by it. So you can't like be someone who just doesn't offend anyone. Because I would like to say if I do offend someone, I'm very sorry about it. My perspectives are very clear. I can't change them. I won't change them because that is my own thinking. I have a right to speak. So if you do disagree with it, your disagreement is correct on your behalf. You might have a different perspective, but if I do offend someone, I am sorry about it, and that's it, I guess.
हम्म, नहीं नहीं सर, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. आपने अपना वक्त निकालना पड़।
नहीं यार दानियल, दैट्स वैसे भी यार आजकल घर ही बैठे होते हैं सारे, क्लासेस वगैरह भी वो खत्म हो गई, सो इट्स जस्ट लाइक फाइन। दानियल, कैन यू हियर मी?